So right now, cryptos are crashing. There's a major dip in the altcoin market. Bitcoin is also seeing a fairly big retracement. What should you be doing right now with your money? Should you be selling? Should you be buying? Or should you just be holding off? I'm going to discuss this topic in today's video. But before we get into it, I'd like to ask you guys if you could just leave a like on this video. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, many of you guys have been asking me, where have the daily live streams gone? I'm still doing live streams, but they are currently taking place over in my paid community. I'm doing almost daily live streams over there for my VIPs. So make sure you check out my VIP membership linked in the description if you want to see my live streams and many, many other benefits. So if we look at the crypto bubbles, you can see very clearly the crypto market is down a lot. Pretty much all the altcoins on the week are down over 20% or so, right? If we go on the month, we've got most altcoins actually down around 30 to 50%, and this is in the top 100. So low caps are getting crushed even more than that. And on the day as well, it's a fairly red day for cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 57K, which is quite a low price for Bitcoin considering how well it's been doing in the last few weeks. But I'm not going to be fudding crypto, guys. I genuinely think this is a massive opportunity. I don't see us going too much lower, if I'm completely honest. Like, we could go down to 50, we could dip another 10% or so. But are you really going to be concerned about these slight differences in the grand scheme of things? When everything's up much more than it is currently, when Bitcoin's potentially 100 or even 200 or even 300K, are you going to be worrying whether you bought at 57K or whether you bought at 52K? I don't think you're going to be worried too much. And I would say the same goes for altcoins. Altcoins are absolutely getting crushed. That is the time to buy. You have a dollar cost average approach. Obviously, everything in this video is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. But rather than trying to lump sum time the market, dollar cost average down. If we dip another 5%, you buy more. If we dip another 20%, you buy more. But I don't think we're going to see some sort of altcoin cataclysm where everything's down 80%. I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin going extremely low. So I don't think this is going to be the case with altcoins as well. Really, all this is a natural correction following many, many months of bullish price action. It has to be expected, okay? Bitcoin continuously went up for an extended period of time. What do you expect eventually? A correction. We had ETFs, and we also had the halving catalyst as well. Now, many people would have expected the halving to be an extremely bullish event. But if you actually understand markets, you understand that not everything that is good always ends up in a good result, okay? News doesn't always pump markets. Events don't always pump markets. Quite often, they actually lead to a correction because they were already priced in. People already knew this event was going to happen, and they sold when the event actually occurred. And I think that is exactly what happened with the halving, and we're just seeing a general correction after such a bullish move. Should you be concerned about this move? Absolutely not, in my opinion. I'm telling you now, completely and utterly and honestly, I am not stressed. I am not concerned in the slightest. Okay. I see some people panicking, some people asking whether they should sell everything and move on. If you're asking those questions, guys, if you're getting really panicky, if you're getting worried and you can't sleep at night, either you're overexposed to crypto or maybe cryptocurrency is not for you, because we see these types of volatile moves constantly in cryptocurrency. It's been a rare period of time where Bitcoin hasn't actually really saw a significant correction. And maybe if you're quite new to the market and you got in maybe, here, it's understandable why you may be panicking now. But for those of you who have had the entirety of the last bull run like myself, you know that these types of moves are all part of the process, and it's really nothing to be concerned about. So now we have the context around the market and why you shouldn't be panicking. I think it's a reasonable time to now get into some altcoin picks that you could potentially be loading up on currently. So the first coin I would be buying in these dips is Casper. You're currently able to buy Casper at 10 cents. This is the most undervalued crypto. It's so cruelly undervalued. $2.4 billion for something that is rivaling Ethereum, something that is arguably rivaling the main aim of Bitcoin, okay? I'm not saying it's rivaling Bitcoin itself, but it's rivaling the initial purpose of Bitcoin, which is to be a peer-to-peer payment currency. It's extremely decentralized and it's very, very efficient. So there's a lot of bullish catalysts coming to Casper. We're going to have 10 BPS. We've got Rust. We've got all sorts of things, smart contracts. All of these things are currently in the process of getting developed. And once they actually come out, I would not be surprised if we start to see Casper head towards that dollar range, maybe topping out this bull run between $3 to $5. And then long term, I think it could certainly go to around $20 and kind of guarantee its place in the top three of cryptocurrency. So I'd definitely be buying Casper. This one is down 44% from all-time highs. Trust me, when this thing starts to move, it's going to go straight to all-time highs in literally a couple weeks. That's going to happen very fast, I think. If you can catch the bottom on Casper, you're basically getting it at a price where we will never see it again. We're probably never going to see Casper here again. We're never going to see it here again. Like every single bottom, if you caught it, it's probably never, ever going back down there. And I think we're in the same situation here where I genuinely think once Casper makes new all-time highs, we will never, ever see Casper at 10 cents again. The next coin or layer one I would be buying would be SpaceMesh. And we're going to go through the layer ones first, and then I'm going to go into some gaming picks. But let's start off with the layer ones. So obviously we've had Casper already. Now we've got SpaceMesh. This is somewhat similar to Casper in the fact that it's very decentralized, but SpaceMesh is arguably even more decentralized in terms of the accessibility to governance and to mining. Anyone can mine this on any form of computer or laptop, and the market cap for this one is just so low at 62 million. So very, very small market cap. It's really, really cheap right now. The price has been plummeting, and I would absolutely be stacking up on SpaceMesh. This thing, in my opinion, has 100x potential. The team is incredible. They have a former Ethereum kind of core dev on the team. So just putting it out there, this is a more risky kind of speculative play. But if it performs, it's going to perform very, very well in my eyes. Next layer one, I would potentially be stacking on this dip is Sui. And this has a $1.4 billion market cap. Many people equate it to the kind of Solana killer narrative. It's a very scalable layer one with heavy VC interest. And the team also has a lot of experience with big tech companies such as Facebook and Apple, I believe. And yeah, just the project itself, what they're aiming to do, they're aiming to be a pivotal blockchain in the future of gaming. They're actually building a device themselves, like a console for gaming. And with the fact that they're already on Binance and Coinbase, I see this as one of the future top layer ones, right? Last bull run, we had a few layer ones that were really on the higher echelons. We had the likes of Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, these types of projects. This time around, we're going to see some new ones. And I would not be surprised if Sui is one of those layer ones that makes it to the top. Similarly, Say, okay, very similar to Sui in many ways. It's a VC-backed coin, heavily focused on scalability, with a slight difference in terms of what they're doing with their chain. But let's keep it pretty simple. Say, Sui, they're both arguably Solana killers, and I would say it's best to just go for both of them. Rather than trying to pick one, I would say just grab both, and if one of them succeeds, happy days, right? You got one. Whereas if you specifically choose one and that one doesn't do as well, it's not the ideal situation, right? So Say also has a great team, heavily backed by VCs, and it acts as a good hedge to the likes of Casper, right? In your portfolio, you want a high degree of diversification, not too diversified, but you want hedges within your portfolio. What do I mean by that? Casper has very little VC interest and is very decentralized. Sui and Say have high VC interest and they're quite centralized. So they act as kind of competition, but they're very different. So if the decentralized coins do well, Casper's going to do well. If the more centralized, more proof of stake coins do well, Sui and Say are going to be the ones that perform. So it acts as a good safe haven, as a good hedge within your portfolio. And another coin I'd be looking at buying in the AI sector is Bensa Tau. This one has dipped a ton. What is the current market cap for Tau? It is currently 2.4 billion and it's down 53% from all-time highs. I strongly believe in Potenza Tau. I think it's the best AI coin. For me, it's the only AI coin where I really take seriously right now. A lot of the other AI coins, I just kind of consider them as other versions of ChatGPT or just short-term pump schemes. Essentially, I don't see them as projects with a large degree of longevity. Whereas Potenza Tau, I do. And this dip right now would be something that would be catching my eye. And this would be the one AI coin I'd potentially be looking to stack up currently on these dips. It's very decentralized. It has similar tokenomics to Bitcoin. Just a really good project in the AI space, laying out the infrastructure much more safe than going for kind of like an AI platform or some sort of Telegram bot type thing, right? Infrastructural projects are much better in my eyes. Now, we've got some decent kind of layer one and AI coins out the way. I think it's now reasonable to look at what the next sector to pump could potentially be. And in my eyes, there's one sector which hasn't had its pump yet, which absolutely deserves to see a rally. And that is the gaming sector in crypto. It was one of the most lucrative sectors last bull run, and I imagine that it's going to be the same this time around. We've got big people back in gaming. We've got Alex Becker and many of the other chains. I mentioned Sui before. Many of the other chains also have an emphasis on gaming. So it's absolutely going to be an apparent narrative this cycle. It just hasn't seen its major pumps yet. But I would argue we're still quite early in this cycle and there's a lot of pumps to come. So if you want to look into the gaming sector, the first project I potentially look at buying would be Heroes of MAVIA. This is the best kind of mobile gaming crypto, 100 million market cap. They've also improved their tokenomics, guys. So Heroes of MAVIA recently announced that they are halting their supply release. So I talk very frequently about vesting and dilution and how this is actually a concern to crypto investors. But Heroes of MAVIA reducing their unlocks by over 80% until February 2025. So a very, very bullish piece of news coming out of Heroes of MAVIA. One of the major problems with gaming coins that dilutes your growth and stunts your growth is tokens coming out into the supply. Heroes of MAVIA have obviously recognized this and they've acted upon it, thus benefiting investors. The next coin I'd be looking to stack is none other than Mira. This for me is the best all-round gaming project to be buying. It's a gaming hub. If you look at their website, it's extremely impressive, just showing all sorts of different games they're going to be developing. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum. So essentially other projects can come and use the SDK of Mira and build on the platform. So this adds a high degree of diversification. You're not just relying on Mira studios themselves, but also third-party gaming developers coming to build on the SDK. So you can see here some of the projects coming over to Mira. Obviously, you've got the ones that are by Mira studios themselves, such as Meta Rush, but you also have third-party games such as Boss Fighters, such as this car racing game here, this cricket game, a real good array of different genres of games. And for that reason, alongside the fact that Mira have nodes, which you can basically earn passive income with, I am very, very bullish on Mira. For me, it's the true gala killer of this bull run. And if you want to be a bit more degen, there's a project here called PlayZap. This is a mobile gaming hub. Very simple games, very similar to MiniClip that some of you guys may know. Really interesting project. The team are working really, really hard on this one. I would only put like 1% of my portfolio into this, but it's a very good project nonetheless. And another high-risk gaming project that I'd potentially be looking at stacking is Metados. This is just a $2 million market cap. This could be an excellent short-term play to generate some extra capital, and then maybe you can put that capital into some of the more blue-chip, safer investments of this list, such as the likes of Casper, Sui, and Say. So that ends it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. And finally, make sure to check out my paid membership. This is linked in my description. You can track my personal buy and sell alerts. If you want to copy along with my trades, you absolutely can. And also you can join for the networking benefits. We have specific chats dedicated to all of these cryptos. If you want to talk Casper with fellow Caspians, you absolutely can. And if you want to talk gaming coins with fellow gamers, you can. So it's a very good community of like-minded investors, all with the same goal of making money in crypto. Check it out. It's linked in my description. Highly recommend just joining for a month, and then you can see if you want to potentially join for lifetime access in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.